Evening everybody, Silverworld here, back for a Transformers review. Going to be doing, as per the title page, G1 Hook. Now, Hook, well, Hook's the snob of the Decepticons, you know. He's the kind of person you'd expect to find hanging around with Mirage before the war, you know, talking about the peasantry and, let them eat cake! Anyway, his ego is Colossus? His ego is colossal and his conceit is enormous. He does look down upon the rest of the Decepticons as peasants. And he does think they are rather beneath him to a degree. Excuse me. I have man flu. I'm dying of a cold. No flipping surprise there. But anyway, however, Hook's egotistical nature isn't that undeserved, because he is a craftsman, and he at what he does, he is brilliant. I mean, maybe it's a Crane thing, because Grapple's got the same issue. You know, Grapple as well has got this monumental ego of I am an artist kind of attitude. And what's with me putting on accents this afternoon? I don't know. Tea. Yeah, it's not coffee. Anyway. Maybe I'm a little high from all the anti-decongestants, which haven't seemed to work that I've taken. But anyway. I've completely lost my train of thought now. Hook! Yes, Hook. Megatron puts up with Hook's ego. But that's about it. He does get very frustrated with the length of time that Hook takes to finish a job, and that in itself is quite understandable. You know, you need something done. You know, the Autobots are coming to wreck your plans for the gazillionth time in the cartoon, and Hook's there, you know, putting the final details in. Hook himself, in his arrogance, can't understand this. Why anyone would get frustrated with the things that he does, merely because he takes his time to make sure that the job is done right. So yes, Hook doesn't quite understand this, and he wonders to himself as to, you know, what everyone else's problem is. Probably in his mind he puts it down to those lower class Decepticons. Hook has, as far as I can ascertain, pretty much only one major line throughout the entire Transformers series, and that is, of course, in the movie. Megatron has been deposed by the almighty Starscream, and the Decepticons are fighting amongst themselves who's going to become the new boss. Soundwave puts himself forward, which is unusual for Soundwave, because Soundwave never really had any aspirations of glory. But anyway, Hook doesn't like that idea, and basically turns around and says that no one would follow an uncharismatic bore like you. Oh yes! Or oh no is the case in the movie. Rumble and the other Constructicons don't take the other Constructicons, to coin a fan phrase, don't take too kindly to that, and it's because of that the whole ruckus ensues. Now, there's nothing else I can add about Hook for his comic book appearances apart from a couple of things. In the Generation 2 comics, Hook is one of the Decepticons seen up on the Warworld when Megatron rallies the Decepticons against going up against Jahaxus. And there is something else of note to mention that I know I haven't mentioned in the other videos. That's concerning the Classics comics, the Timeline series, which I don't think are actually supposed to be part of any official canon. They're just a storyline, which gives you some backdrop as to why the Classics are in their current incarnations that they are now. And Hook and Mixmaster are both very conspicuously absent. And there is a new one called Hightower in Hook's place or in Mixmaster's place, and he's in place of that. And it does appear that Hasbro lost the rights to the name Hook some time ago. because there hasn't been a Hook character and since 93. So you're talking a good 15 years. There hasn't been a Hook character in that length of time. So knowing Hasbro, they went and lost the rights to the sodden name. But there we go. Okay, now onto the toy. I am, of course, going to credit Optibotimus Paul, who, out of the goodness of his own heart, sent me this hook, and I have to say, it's in a very nice condition. Sent me this hook. I think he actually bought. Yeah, he did. He actually bought it, and I was very, very touched that he did this. It was, really nice gesture. Kudos to the man. He's a top bloke, and now he's sending me Transformers. Not that I'm complaining. Constructicon! Oh, excuse me, that cold's just getting worse on my chest. Oh! Oh! Hello? 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 Bloody dog. But anyway, onto the toy of Hook. I can't do this. I can't do the toy of Hook while I'm fussing the flipping dog. Go on, you. Go on. Good girl. I'll fuss you in a minute. She probably wants feeding. She hasn't been fed yet. Mind you saying that? Neither have I. Anyway. Hook is, of course, a crane. Do you know what? They really should give me an award for pointing out the bloody obvious. And he has an extendy bit. And there we go. And I think Hook is probably the rarest one to find in any kind of decent condition. For 3 reasons that I can ascertain. 3 reasons. There we go. This hook, silver hook, that often comes off, this bit breaks or bends or has stress points in it. And the other thing, which happened to the first hook that I got, though it wasn't Blaster's fault, Blaster was the guy on the TF net that I bought the Devastator off. It wasn't his fault. It's the feet. And I know this has happened on a lot of Hook toys. Well, I was told this has happened on a lot of Hook toys. That I'm so wary now of transforming the feet that they snap. And this is knowing me what I'm going to do to this toy. There we go. Make sure it's connected. Yeah. Let's see. Hang on, of course I can't say what I'm doing. There we go. The bits in the back of the legs there have a habit of snapping, because I know on mine that that's the part that snapped off on my other one. So Hook is one of the hardest to find fully complete. I mean, I got mine fully complete. Complete with itty bitty blaster gun. Kind of dinky. God, I know I'm an 80s man, but I didn't know I was a 90s man. Dinky. Blooming heck. Oh well, never mind. It just means that it just helps him stand up. Yes, they have normally long construction piece of equipment on the back of him, unlike Scavenger. Doesn't look dumb. Hook, I do like this toy. I think Hook is quite possibly has one of the nicest of the robot modes on the Constructicons. Apart from this silly little giant. Well, if he was human, the doctors would want to lance that. Because it looks like a large inflamed boil right on his foot. And I think it's his Dreamwave picture where he's actually drawn with it as well. I mean, the comic makes him, as far as I'm aware, the comic actually gives him, 2 proper legs. But no. The comic, the cartoon, gives him 2 proper legs. The comic does draw him in with a giant cab on his foot. There's quite a lot of attention paid to detail in his face, in that he's got a visor He's got a very much a visor, and Hook's head is probably the one that stays closest to the actual toy. Because if you look at if any of you have got the G1 Hook or even the G2 Hook, vomit. He's got this overhang over the front of his head, kind of like the peak of a cat. That's in the cartoon, and of course his vision, his eyes are visored. Hook forms the chest of Devastator, and I'll show you now. Yeah, it's why that keeps happening. I mean, you have to make allowances for the fact the toy is 30 years old nearly. And I'll just transform this very carefully. And there we have him as the torso for Devastator. Looks like something out of Tron. Never mind. As the torso for Devastator. And so the headpiece goes on the back there, and you've got this little, shiny, little bit of Firefly reference. You got this little thing just there, and that's where Bone Crusher connects to. And then you've got another little hole just in there, and that's where Scavenger connects to. And that's where Scavenger... I keep getting Scavenger and Scrapper mixed up. And that's where Scavenger connects to. And of course there's a little peg just here, just at the front by the head, where the big Uber V-Wing chestplate connects to. Okay, but that's it for Hook. As I said, Hook is quite hard to find not broken. And chances are, if he is not broken, he is horrendously expensive. I mean, obviously, one of the things that's missing with a lot of the constructicons is their little hand weapons. I think I've only got about 4 of them. I know I've got Scavengers, I know I've got Hooks, and I believe I've got Mixmasters. But I know I am missing the weapons from the others. So if you are looking to get Hook, as I said, and I believe it was the long haul video, if you're going to buy a Devastator, buy the fully one. Don't buy them separately, individually, because it'll set you back a lot more than if you bought the full set, just flat out. But anyway, there is of course only one review left in this series, and I need to work out how I'm going to do it. That is of course on Devastator, the combined form of the Constructicons. But for now, thank you, Optibotimus. But I thought I'd better thank him again. You know, he's very sensitive. He's our Paul, and if I didn't thank him at least twice, he'd probably cry. But anyway, cheers, Paul. Seriously, man, fantastic. Anyway, this is Silbolt signing off, saying au revoir, adios, I'll be